Good morning. So I'm standing here in front of the Whitby Cenotaph, which was erected in 1924 to recognize the dead of the First World War by the Veterans Association back then. And it was dedicated by the Lieutenant Governor at the time, and the kids got a half day off school to attend when it was opened to the public and built. And this is usually where the Remembrance Day happens here in Whitby, but not this year in the same way it's happened in the past nor anywhere else. So I thought I would talk for a moment about what I consider the importance of remembrance. And I've got something with me. It's just this little Bible that you can't see. It says the New Testament. It was given to my great uncle, Cecil Telfer, before he went to the First World War. And you can see barely inside, it's got an inscription in it to Cecil from Edmonton Methodist Church. And if you look closely, you'll see that he used to keep it right here in his breast pocket, and you can see where it has been shredded by that piece of shrapnel that hit it. And it went right through the front, and it stopped at the back and saved his life. So you can see at the back it's still intact. So it saved his life. But here's the thing about what happened to my great uncle Cecil. He was suffering from shell shock after being in battle, and the family worked very hard to keep him from going back to the front. But the army refused, sent him back to the front, shell shocked though he was, and he died. He actually died of pneumonia, but he died in the trenches in the First World War. And I always remember him. I always remember the irony of this little Bible, this small New Testament given to him from the Methodist Church in Edmonton, Alberta, that saved his life. And yet, shell-shocked and sick, they sent him back, and he died anyway. I was talking to a couple this past week who survived the Second World War and lived under occupation. And they both said the same thing to me. They said, there are no winners in war. And I think that's so true. But there can be losers. And had we lost the Second World War, our world would look so very different and so very terrible. Yet, we need to remember the cost. We need to remember that the people who fought and survived, and the civilians who survived the war, never really get over it. It lives with them to this day, whether they were in the Second World War, Korea, Vietnam, whether they were fought in Afghanistan, the Middle East. Wherever there's war, there are always victims. And that's why we need to remember this. We need to remember this so we have a sense of profound and deep gratitude for those who have given their lives. But we need to remember the cost so it never happens again. We shall remember.